I'm Peggy.
And I'm Amanda.
And you're watching the Junction Fiberville Millcast.
Millcast.
Yeah. How you doing?
Again, I don't have great news to report. I mean, I am on the mend, but folks, I got strep 2 times in a row.
So sorry.
Yeah, so it's been a whole month of basically the strep throat waves, and it was rough. Not quite as rough the second time around, but basically exactly 2 weeks from my first diagnosis or my first symptoms appearing.
Yeah.
3 days after my antibiotics, I got fever, chills, the whole 9, sore throat. So I went back into the doctor and they tested me again and strep again. So they put me on different antibiotics.
Yep.
And because I'm still nursing Lewis, they had to be this one specific kind that really messed up my stomach. So,
yeah. And antibiotics will do that.
They will do it, and especially when you've been on them 20 days in the past 30 days.
Right, yeah.
So,
and they'll do more than just stomach, but we won't go there. But yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's rough. So yeah, mood, all that stuff. I don't know what you're alluding to, but we'll move on. So yeah, as of yesterday, I'm starting to feel a lot better.
Good.
And
you need to.
I need to because I got vacation coming up, which I'm really excited about.
You have visitors.
I do have visitors coming when this airs. They'll have been here. But yeah, so I need the energy. But it's just this last month has just been it's been a struggle. So anyways, the story is after my second diagnosis, I rounded up everyone in my house who was ostensibly healthy.
Yep.
Ostensibly. And swabbed them all. Got them in the clinic. They swabbed them there. And Maeve tested positive for strep. So she's on antibiotics. And so hopefully nobody else got it.
You've knocked those germs the heck out of the house.
Yeah. But it's been a journey, and I'm glad, hopefully, I'm on the other side of it. But it's so not a lot of knitting's gotten done, and basically not a lot of much at all.
Well, you don't feel well, so
no,
that's the way it is.
I don't.
Yeah.
But now it's beautiful sunny day out.
Beautiful sunny day.
I did make it to the gym this morning, so that was good.
Yeah.
I feel like that's so critical to my mental health.
Absolutely.
Yesterday, I was about bouncing off the walls. I was like, oh right, I haven't exercised in 2 weeks.
And I don't think I'm going to be back to my rowing machine because we are officially in lambing season.
Well,
and
that's exciting.
It's very exciting. The first one came, first time mom, not a very big mom, and she delivered a beautiful boy. You're seeing a picture right now from last night. My sister Eileen doesn't live far away, and Eileen helped deliver this little boy.
Was he a wee bit stuck?
Yes, he was breech actually.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, that means legs coming out first. So you gotta kind of be mindful of that, and we got him out just fine. And the mom,
Eileen.
Yeah, and the mom did all the right things. And then this picture is from this morning. Before I came in, I got a couple of pictures of he's up and about, and mom is stamping her foot, which is basically like, get away, get away.
Don't touch my
don't
spring.
touch my, So I think he's doing well. I did see him latch on to mom last night.
Little tail going.
Little tail was vibrating. So
that's the cutest thing if you've never seen it when lambs are taking in milk. They're tiny little tails, which we get rid of the tails because
eventually they get docked,
But when they're little, they've got these tiny little worms of tails, and they just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle when they're getting milk.
When they're getting milk, and the mom is licking the tail to try to encourage it. I'll get video of that because we've got 9 more pregnant ewes to go. But he's a peanut. We did last night. His temperature was on the low side, and it was still going to be a while before he got onto his mom.
It was cold last night. It's still winter temps here.
Yeah, but we've delivered in colder than this.
Totally.
But his temperature was 99, and healthy is really 101. If it was 95, we would have had him in the house and heating him up. But the expression is called tubing him. I did heat up some lamb. It's a powder, but it's a lamb colostrum, and tubed him with we did 40 cc's. And that's so it's warmed up again, and it's a tube that goes right down the throat, and it's kind of like helping him warm up from the inside out.
Yeah.
I've done it in the beginning. I remember when I first did tubing, I was terrified that the tube was going to go in the lungs, yada yada. I now know how to tube. I've done it a lot. You go along the side to make certain it's going to go into the stomach and not the lungs. So that helped him a lot, and it just gave us the reassurance. So anyway, we're off to the races now.
Yeah, I mean, it is pretty wild with lambing and I guess generally farm life. I don't know that people who don't live on a farm or haven't been exposed to it realize how much of an amateur doctor you get to play, especially around lambing time.
Absolutely.
I remember when I first showed up at your house, we barely knew each other.
Yeah.
And I was coming to help out with lambing. 5-6 years
6
ago
years
now.
ago.
And the first night I had triplets born, and Peg was bedridden in the house, but I was sort of going back and forth to get notes from you. And so the triplets, the second of which I had to like pull out, and then he wasn't doing well, so I had to intubate him, and he did great. He survived, but it was like all in one night. I went from 0 to like, I lubed up, pulled the lamb out, intubated it, like got it all warm and fine, and then the third one. Anyways, it's just this whole.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's awesome though if you ever have a chance to see it.
And most deliveries go absolutely just fine. And so there's sort of, to my mind, 2 steps: getting the lambs out alive, and then the other is making sure the mom has the right maternal instincts and wants to get that lamb to latch on. So you're going to hear more of it as I'm only at the beginning.
You say it like it's so boring. It's such an exciting time. You've done it for many. You're seasoned now, so I think for you it's like old hat and it's a little bit of a chore. But
no, not a chore. It's exciting. It's very humbling, and the power of Mother Nature is not to be denied. I think this first-time mom, and she knew what to do. She was licking, which is that first instinct, and then just pushing her little one to go to the backside, and it's good. It's good. I hold my breath though, because fortunately we only have 9 more. In past years we've bred up to 19, 22. We only have 9 more to go. But that's 9 more that you want to make sure you're there if you need to be there. So
don't worry, folks. We will bring you plenty of lamb content.
And what we do want to do is between Todd and I, we kind of every 2 hours, 2.5 hours, one of us has got our eyes on the situation.
Yeah, I do think you guys need a spring for some. We need like a lamb cam in the mill.
Yeah, we have these 2 cameras in the barn, and they're connected to a little monitor in our bedroom.
Yep.
But they're really old and they don't go onto Wi-Fi. So I really wish I could see them from the mill.
Well, maybe some of our listeners have some suggestions.
Oh, there are plenty. It just means replacing them, and we're being lazy about replacing them. But I'm thinking next year we pop for some upgrade.
Well, now that you're both working at the mill.
Yeah, right. Hey, I'm drinking tea.
Okay, why?
I don't know. I think I had a cold a little while ago, and I never drink tea. I'm not a tea drinker. I'm 1 cup of decaf coffee, and
what kind of tea are you drinking?
It's just Earl Grey with a.
It's got caffeine in there.
I know, not like a cup of coffee does, though.
No, but still, I can definitely tell when I'm having.
Well, maybe that's why I'm feeling a little perky.
Yeah, caffeine. Also, for me, the thing that I've had to give up for like 2 days. It wasn't like a long span of time, but when my stomach was going absolutely berserk, and before I figured out like the probiotics do seem to be working well.
Good.
Chocolate. I am a chocolate addict. I am going to admit it. I think like people are addicted to coffee, for me it's chocolate, and I've been allowing myself like a little square or a little sprinkling of cocoa powder and some warm milk, and it's like I can tell like my mood immediately improves. It's not the sugar. Like I'll go 100% just cocoa powder and some water or milk, and like it's whatever's in the chocolate. So anyways.
Know thyself.
I know thyself. So while you were lambing last night.
This is great.
Yeah, Cody had the band over. He's in a bluegrass band. Many of you know that. They performed at Millapalooza last year.
They're really good.
Yeah, and they've gotten busy. One of the members has got a wedding in a couple months. We've got the 2 kids. So they don't play as much as they used to. But now they sort of come over for the occasional prepping for gigs. But honestly, mostly it's just to hang out. And I'm going to show you a video of Maeve getting so excited and playing with the band last night. Yeah, it's so fun, and Lewis is dancing, and thank goodness, like, his band are extremely nice people, because they're just like, yeah, we'll play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star or whatever, and Maeve's got her little guitar.
I love it.
It's so sweet. So I hope that no matter what the level of playing gigs or whatever happens with the band, I hope Cody always continues to play music, and the kids can be around it.
Absolutely.
It's so fun. It's sort of like with the sheep. It's like they're a lot of work, but it is fun to have them for the kids. They really enjoy them, so we're lucky.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. We had a beep.
Did you just hear a beep?
I did. I don't know what it was.
It's not the camera, is it?
No, I think we're
still
recording.
going. All right, let's go then. What's on deck today?
Today, you have seen, this was a couple weeks ago, we launched the Bachelor Button and Aubergine colorways for our Roots collection, which just sort of added a bright pop of color, especially with the Bachelor Button.
Yeah, the Bachelor Button.
The Aubergine is just a lovely, like, reddish purple.
And it goes with so many of our, who likes purple?
Actually what you're wearing, but it is pretty dang close.
It's pretty dang close. And these colors are going to go with so many of our making tracks, it's ridiculous. And then, drum roll, we are now got it in our, Roots. Now we have it in our sport weight. Same color, the Aubergine and the Bachelor Button. Lovely.
So we've expanded the fam. So if you want to, these are actually, especially, I don't know, I keep going to the Bachelor Button. This is just so different than any of the solids we've made so far. This would make a lovely, like, fun summertime tank top or, like, something, like, lightweight. You could pair it with a lot of our making tracks, like Peg said, making tracks light. So just building out our solids collection. So these are available they're available now. Check them out.
Excellent. And we always have something new on deck. We're going to take you into the mill, and I'm going to show you one of us is going to show you what's on deck next. Okay, we are in the mill, and you guys are familiar with now, this is our spinner. What you may not know is, when we're spinning, there are extra scraps that come about, and let me show you where they pile up. Right in the magic door, boom. So in this case, we've got some blue. And we save that. We collect all that. And we have it in a bag, and sometimes it's purple, sometimes it's orange. Let me show you what we do with it. Come on back. You are looking at the scraps that we pulled out. We separated the warms from the cool, and in this case, we gathered all the warms. We've picked it, and we've blended it with what we call our mill blend, and that's the natural fibers from our custom processing, from our own yarn. And so we're putting them together. See that? And we're just now starting to card it. Come around here and take a look at the carder. We've decided that right now we wish it had a little more color, so we're going to add a little bit more of the mill blend. But let me show you how it's shown up in the carder after, how it's come off of the carder. So meet me on the other side of the carder. Okay, it's going to come off and up and into here, and sorry, this is the first round. This is how it came off the carder yesterday. We're going to start again today. I think it's fabulous. Look at all these subtle, yummy colors. Now, this is how it's come. There, can you see it? Now, what's going to happen is that we're going to card all of this, and then you would say, oh, well, wait a minute, this looks more yellow, this is more pink. But we're going to blend this when we pick it, or rather when we pin draft it, all of this will get blended and blended so that it'll all come out the same color. But look at all these yummy colorways. It's going to be a subtle, gorgeous yarn. We got a ways to go, but how fun is this? So we said on deck it's gonna take us a while to finish it all up, but you're gonna love it. It's the mill blend with warm yum.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So.
Well, what are you wearing? We forgot to even talk about that.
I've worn this before. There is no pattern. I made it off of a pattern that I saw and I kind of copied. This is it's a cardigan. This is my hate buttonhole phase. I think I've gotten over that, but I made this in my hate buttonhole phase. And this was the yarn that you and I spun together at Michael Hampton's when we were first thinking, we think we might want to buy a mill.
Michael Hampton's was Hampton Fiber Mill up in Richmond, Vermont. And,
right.
We ended up buying our first set of equipment from him, and he taught us everything
we needed to know. But we went up there, and he was so kind. He said, we're going to make some yarn. And so we made some yarn, and it was kind of an ivory color. You dyed yours like a marigold wild. I dyed this. I'll tell you, I dyed it like this. And I knit it, and I went, oh, my God. I'm never going to wear this, because it wasn't solid like this. It was sort of, because I dyed it. And then I was like, if I'm never going to wear it, that's crazy. I've done all this knitting. So I over-dyed it with orange, just a light orange. And then I got
bold.
this. Well, you mean bold to go and just dye
it's just it speaks to that you know your stuff with how to do the dyes.
Well, it was do something or I will never wear this.
Yeah,
So
totally.
I over-dyed it with a little bit of orange, and it turned the blue into a purple. I just loved how it turned out.
Yeah, totally your colors. Matches your turtleneck underneath too.
Yeah, it matches many of my turtlenecks. That's what's ridiculous. Yeah, it's turtleneck season for me at least until the end of July.
And then it picks back up in end of August.
Yeah, I get about 2 weeks with t-shirts and then back onto that.
Well, I am wearing it's a petite knit. I know, broken record, but the stuff is, they're basics. You can wear them all the time. This is the zipper sweater. I think that's what it's called. And I knit it with one of my sheep's wool, Maisie, held together with, which is, so she's a Corriedale, I have the same type of sheep as Peg's. There's kind of a spin-off flock from her farm. But I spun Maisie's wool, which is it's sort of a chocolate brown, and I held it together with some mohair and silk, which was black, so it sort of brought the color down a bit more. So really, really deep brown, as you can see.
And it's a super warm sweater.
Such a warm sweater, and it's just got this nice, like, zip-up neck.
I got to tell you, I remember when you started knitting this and it had a zipper, I was like, here I am, I don't want to touch buttons. I would never be brave enough to do a zipper.
It was not that, I mean, you can sew, so you would be fine.
But
the really, like, the trick of it was you had to, which is sort of like blending, because I sew as well, or used to sew, it's been a while. But, like, I know how I would sew something like this, and so I was curious how the pattern would have you knit it. And basically, on the underside, there's a sort of like a V-shape bit that like a very skinny, like 2 legs, and then it comes together underneath here. So yeah, exactly. It's like a facing that you can enclose the zipper within.
Yeah.
And then you just, pop the zipper in there and sew it with a needle and thread. So it really wasn't that hard, but it turned out terrific in my opinion.
I think
very
it's
cozy.
fantastic.
So I know I'm like not digging the color on me as much as I once was. So I kind of want to remake this in something maybe like brighter. I feel like, maybe like a natural dyed, red or something like that.
With the glasses.
With the
absolutely. Because you're in your red phase.
I'm in my red era. Anyways,
it's good.
So what are you knitting?
Oh, what am I knitting?
I left mine in the car, and I'm too lazy to get it because there's really been no progress because I've been sick. Sorry, folks.
I've made some progress.
You got the pillowcase.
I got the pillowcase. The pattern is Bibliophile number 3 by Alicia Plummer. This is for my son-in-law, Colin. And the purpose of the pillowcase is because
Has he tried any part of it on yet?
No, and I don't think he really knows much about it. He knows I'm knitting something. I think he might have seen the wool. The last time I brought this in, I hadn't quite finished the bottom. And now, get it all out here. I have finished the bottom. There's the bottom down there, and this is where I am on the first sleeve.
Terrific.
Yeah, and then I'll pick up and do the collar.
Yep. Nice.
Nothing fancy about the bind off, but a little bit of ribbing.
Cool.
And I'm loving the wool.
I'm curious, why did you go with this pattern versus your top-down sweater book that you've done before?
I think that I didn't, because it's a gift.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be right. And so I wanted to go with a pattern that I could say, okay, it's a 44-inch chest. Here it all is. Because I can fudge it if it's for me, and I have to get a little wonky on the pick up the stitches. That's why.
Okay.
No,
it makes total sense.
I've done the top
book
down
I'm
plenty.
referring to. Do you remember the?
Yeah,
author?
Ann Budd. She has 2 marvelous ones. She has the knitting sweaters top down, and then the other one is just, I think, about knitting sweaters.
It's like designing your own.
Right, and it's marvelous.
It's like recipes, basically. She gives you the component pieces, and then you can kind of take it from there. Right,
and what's wonderful about it is that you don't have to match a gauge. You just knit and say, this is the gauge I've got. And she says, okay, if that's the gauge, bam, here's the instructions.
It's a little adventurous, like what I grew up on patterns from Ravelry where I could see like all the reviews and whatever. So for me, the one time I've knit an Ann Budd sweater, which was for Maeve, it was a little, it was a kid's raglan, and I did the double knit to put the flower motif on it. I'll show a picture. I just found it was a little stressful to like kind of be like, okay, I gotta trust that I'm following the right whatever.
This is Ann Budd.
Yeah.
What I'm wearing.
I know.
So
terrific.
So Ann Budd didn't tell me to do the seed stitch or to do this cable here, but she said if you're doing a cardigan and this is the gauge you're getting, here's what you cast on. And, I knit it, I did it bottom up. and then did the sleeves, sold the
So
sleeves
it's a
in.
peg original. I mean,
Yeah,
really,
but-
all of the things you knit are original because, like, you pick the yarn, whatever. But like,
True.
so much. Like, I think I went to like the petiteknit.com website or whatever it is to get the zipper because I wanted to make sure like it looked it looked like good with the sweater.
Yeah, I think there's people who can knit multiple things at once. That's not me. There's people who really want the recipe, tell me how to do it. And there's some people who go and tell me what colors I should pick. And I like to do a little bit of experimenting. I'm not experimenting on Colin, but for myself, absolutely.
Yeah. I think it's great.
Yeah. Big news. I mean,
yeah, big-ish.
Big-ish. Okay, I think it's kind of big because we're kind of small.
We're very small. I mean, we're a tiny little team here in tiny little Vermont. But we have over 50,000 now people on Instagram following us, which is just like, woo, blows my mind.
It just blows my mind. That's a football stadium.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know sports.
Huh?
I don't know sports.
Well, you know you've gone to a concert in a
absolutely.
stadium?
Yeah, I mean, I know how big they are. I couldn't have given you the number.
It's not where the Giants play, but I mean, Dartmouth College over here, it's bigger than that stadium.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
So we're very grateful. We're humble.
We're really grateful.
We decided to do another giveaway because it felt like a milestone to celebrate. So if you are on Instagram, which no pressure to be on it or not, but if you are, we are doing a giveaway because that's how we know how to do it, and that's the platform where we have the 50K. So go to Instagram. You will see the post pinned on our profile, and I think you have to like give it a like and tag a couple friends in it or something, and then are going to draw one person to
randomly
win $500 gift card. Yeah. And that's that.
If you work for us, you can't participate.
What, are you trying to tell Todd?
No, I think that's kind of fun because at big companies, really big companies, they make it very clear.
Oh my gosh.
Years ago, I used to work for Disney, and when they had contests, they made it very clear employees cannot apply.
That's so funny you think we're going to target our employees through the Millcast. Oh my gosh. We have a team meeting in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I just popped in my head about,
I know, I think it's so funny. It's from your TV days.
Yeah, right. Anyway, it's exciting.
For those that didn't know, Peg used to work in TV.
Yeah, long time ago.
Woman of many talents.
Hey, we all got multiple talents, and we all, I'm digressing. She is getting into television now. When you watch these videos and all, she's doing all the editing. And I said at our last team meeting, I said, Amanda's been working very hard on developing her alternative career path, being a TV producer.
A vlogger.
All right, anyway, yeah.
So this weekend, we've got open house at the Mill.
Yes, it will. I will definitely be there. You have manned the last couple, so I will definitely be there. My sister Eileen may be there. You may be there. But
other than that, we'll have some seconds we've had at the last few open houses. So if you want to buy some small skeins or get just a little bit of this, a little bit of that to finish a project, we'll have those at a discount.
Yeah, and if you have always wanted a tour, we will figure out how to do some tours as well.
Yeah.
So,
hopefully the weather's beautiful, so that's going to be April 19th from 10 to 1 here at the Mill.
The only hiccup will be lambing, and we'll figure that out.
We will figure it out.
Oh, wouldn't it be fun if I could bring a lamb? I'm not doing that. I would never separate.
A pack and play.
Yeah. Separating it from its mom, bringing them. No.
If you have a bottle baby.
If there was a bottle baby, that's true.
We'll keep you posted.
Anyway.
All right.
Take care.
Thanks for tuning in.